If you're a gardener, you know the drill. Every year, it's time to turn over the soil, break up all those clumps, and get everything prepped for planting. But have you ever just stopped and asked yourself, is all this digging really necessary? Well, the answer might actually surprise you. So let's ask it straight up. Is this yearly ritual a must-do? For generations, tilling has just been what you do. It's step one. But what if that whole idea isn't just unnecessary, but it might actually be holding your garden back? And look, this isn't some fringe concept. We're talking about soil health experts and agronomists who are all pointing to a totally different way of thinking. It's an approach that works with the soil instead of against it. And you know what? It's especially perfect for us home gardeners. To really get why, we need to completely change how we see our garden soil. It's not just dirt. It's a bustling, living ecosystem. It's a whole world right under our feet with this delicate structure that tilling just completely shatters. Okay, this is the core idea right here, the soil microbiome. And get this, scientists say there can be more microbes in a single gram of soil than there are people on the entire planet. These tiny things are the real engine of a healthy garden, breaking everything down and making nutrients available for your plants. So when we fire up a rototiller or just start digging like crazy, we're basically setting off a catastrophic earthquake in that tiny microscopic world. It just destroys those delicate structures, exposes all that life to the sun and air, and kills off a massive portion of all that good stuff. And this visual just says it all, doesn't it? On one side, we see the big physical act of digging. And right next to it, well, that's what's really at stake. That's a microscopic view of a special fungus that literally partners with a plant's roots, extending its reach. One action, the digging, directly destroys the other. And these are just a few of the major players in your soil. Seriously, think of them as your unseen gardening crew. You've got fungi breaking down tough stuff like wood, protozoa are unlocking nitrogen so plants can actually use it, and even nematodes, which sometimes get a bad rap, have good guys that act as your own personal pest control. Tilling just messes up this whole workforce. So if tilling is the problem, what's the solution? Well, this brings us to a method called no-till or no-dig gardening. It's a whole philosophy that puts soil health first, which in turn leads to way stronger and more productive plants. And the benefits are just staggering. When you stop churning and compacting the soil, its natural structure comes back. It starts to act more like a sponge, holding way more water. This means healthier plants, and because you're using layers of mulch, you get amazing weed control without reaching for any chemicals. It's a win-win-win. Just look at that incredible root system. This is what it's all about. When soil is fluffy, undisturbed, and alive, roots can just spread out and dig deep. This creates plants that are so much more resilient, especially when things get hot and dry. They can find water that plants in compacted, tilled soil just can't get to. All right, so you're on board, but how do you actually do it, especially in a small backyard garden? Well, the good news is there's a really clear plan. Let's walk through the 7 steps to switch your own garden over. So here's the roadmap. I know it looks like a lot of steps, but it's a super straightforward process. You basically go from preparing your space to planting and then to protecting that precious soil. Let's dig into a few of the most important parts. Here is a fantastic, super low-cost trick for getting rid of what's already there. Just use cardboard. Seriously, lay it down and it blocks the light, killing off the grass and weeds. Then, over the next few months, it just breaks down and becomes food for all the worms and microbes. You're getting weed control and you're building soil at the same time. Mulching is also absolutely essential. You want a nice, thick layer of something organic, think wood chips, shredded leaves, straw, over the soil. This keeps it moist, stops new weeds from popping up, and it even provides a home for good guys like spiders and ground beetles that will eat your pests. And finally, let's talk about that last step, cover crops. Instead of leaving your garden beds empty all winter, you plant something specifically to make the soil better. Need to add nitrogen for your hungry tomatoes next year? Plant some clover. Want to smother out any lingering weeds? Buckwheat is great for that. Or, and this is my personal favorite, plant some daikon radishes. Their huge roots act like natural drills, loosening and aerating the soil for you. This really brings us to a key point. No-till isn't some quick fix. It's a whole different mindset. It's about playing the long game, making a smart investment in your garden's most important asset, the soil itself. When you look at it this way, the trade-off is pretty clear. Tilling gives you that loose soil right now, but over time it degrades everything, and you get stuck in this cycle where you have to do it every year. No-till is definitely more work right at the beginning, but every single year after that, your soil just gets better and better, building a system that pretty much takes care of itself. And that is the ultimate payoff, right? After a few seasons of building up your soil with compost and mulch and cover crops, your job actually gets easier. The mulch is doing the weeding. The cover crops are doing the loosening. The living ecosystem in the soil is doing all the heavy lifting for you. So we'll end with this thought. When you go no-till, you're fundamentally changing your relationship with your garden. You're going from trying to dominate the land to collaborating with this complex, living ecosystem. You become less of a laborer and more of a conductor, just nurturing the life that will, in turn, nurture your plants.